Hi there, Mackenzie Town Church and Mission Hill Church Kids Ministry volunteer teams. It's me, Jared, here, and I'm excited to be launching into this 2016-2017 ministry year. And so this is just me officially welcoming you as we kick off here in just a couple of days on Sunday, September 11th, in both churches and in all ministries for kids. The dream that's before us is to raise up a generation who will be the church and change the world. And that dream excites me, and I hope that it excites you, because we can't do it without each other. There are 4 values that I think drive us towards accomplishing that vision. The first has to do with safety. We want kids to be safe. We want you as volunteers to be safe. And in doing those 2 things, we hope that parents will feel safe and confident in leaving their kids with us each and every week. The second value that we hold is relationship. We want every kid to be in a life-changing relationship with Jesus Christ, and that happens both individually in their own hearts, but also in the context of community. And so as God works on their hearts, but also as they build relationships with each other in their peer groups, and as they build relationships with you as their leaders. And I think it's important, that big family perspective, that kids are connected beyond their own family, but connected to the big family, which we call the church. The third value that we hold is called discovery. And it's important to me that we don't just be a ministry that gives kids the answers, but that we provide opportunities and experiences for them to discover who God is for themselves. That they would discover who God's made them to be. That they would discover their gifts and their abilities that God has given them, not just as skills and talents, but gifts that He's given them as followers of Him to be able to influence the world around them for Jesus. Lastly, the fourth value is partnership. Because if we want to influence a generation, then we need to be able to influence the parents of that generation. And so I'm excited to lean even harder into this value in the coming year. I'd also like to introduce you to a new role that we have called a service coach. Janet and Gail have already been fulfilling this role at Mission Hill for quite some time now, but we're introducing it now at Mackenzie Town Church. And at 8:45, David Rist is going to take on the service coach role, and at 10:15 and 11:45, Jamie Walsh is going to be taking on that role. And so they're going to be upstairs connecting with kids and families as they come into the ministry setting. But they're also going to be checking in on each ministry as it happens on Sunday morning. Make sure that you've got what you need to see if there's that you've got all the resources that you need in order to lead or teach well and to help solve some of those problems. But they're also going to be speaking into the shape and the direction of kids ministry going forward. And so I'm excited to have their influence from a leadership team perspective. I'd also like to invite you to September 24th. That's our annual training meeting. We do it once a year, and I know some of you have been to some of these before, but this one will be unlike one that you've ever been to before. And so our goal is to inspire you, and our goal is to equip you. Like I said, we can't reach that dream without you, and so we want to help you be the best leader that you can be. We want to help develop you as leaders, and hopefully that those will be skills that can be transferable into other places of your life. But we want you to come and eat and have fun and laugh and have an opportunity to learn something. Please don't miss it. It's a really important training opportunity, and so please put that on your calendar right now. September 24th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for breakfast, and we want to help inspire you and equip you to help us to be a part of the dream, the story that God is writing through MTC to raise up a generation who would be the church and change the world. Kindergarten to grade 4 leaders, you guys are awesome. I am excited for this upcoming ministry year. Some of you may have heard from Jamie that things are going to change a little bit in terms of the structure that we're doing. And it's not that our old structure was bad, but I wanted to take a few minutes. You're gonna have to stick with me because it's a little bit of a longer video, but you're gonna have to stick with me as I just talk about some of these changes. And they'll probably make a lot more sense once you are able to dig into them on a Sunday morning. So here's what we're doing. We're gonna switch from that rotational model that we were doing, which there's nothing wrong with that, and we're gonna switch to a classroom model, and here's why. Number one, as we think about the dream that I mentioned earlier in this video, I just wasn't confident that our rotational model was gonna get us into that place, and so I wanted to do some things to switch it up. So we're going to move to this classroom model. Number one, because I want to give you as group leaders more influence in the lives of kids as you learn with them, as you lead them, as you play alongside them, as you get to know them. And so I wanted to give you more relational equity in their lives. Number two is that I wanted to capitalize on some of the learning things that I think we can do better at in terms of that value of discovery that I talked about in the video earlier as well. And so here's how this is going to look on Sunday mornings. Now kids are going to come in, they're still going to go through the connector, and then we're going to send them to their classroom. So we've got a kindergarten classroom and a grade 1-2 classroom and a grade 3-4 classroom. And as they're in there for that first sort of 10, 15 minutes, we would love for you just there's lots of toys around, to choose a box of toys and to play with them and hang out with them, or play a game with them. We want you just to have some unstructured time to get to know them. And what we've done actually is we've created these hearts. And each each room, each grade, each group has a different color, and so we want to be able to track that as you're hearing from kids what the tough things that they're going through, but also the things that they're celebrating and excited about. Man, I would love for you just to write something down on a heart and just stick it on the wall. I love to see what kids are up to, and it helps us be able to tell the stories of what kids are going through, what they're excited about, as well as what God is doing in their own lives. And you guys then are going to be on the front lines of leading that. After that first 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to go into the big room all together as K-4, where our story experience leader is going to lead our time together in the Bible story. Which should be really fun and will be great. We have talented story leaders, and they're going to continue to lead in those roles. After that story experience, you're going to go back into your rooms for application experience, where you'll have a craft or a game to do that will only take a few minutes. And we've done a couple of things. First, we've added these thought bubbles. So as your story experience leaders lead, or as you lead an application, as kids are thinking about things and doing different things, write down some of the cool things that kids are saying or thinking about, and the questions that they have on these little thought bubbles. Also, write down on these little speech bubbles here things that kids are saying that you can use. So the thought bubble is more for thoughts. This is more for speech things that they're actually saying. Just stick them up on the wall. Stick them up in the story experience room. Stick them up in your application room, in your classrooms. And it's a great way for us to be able to see what kids are thinking and saying. The last thing that we've added is a reflection journal piece. So as part of your application, kids are going to start reflecting. And so this is one of those sheets. We've given the Bible story piece, and we've given them an opportunity just to, this week's is September 11th, to draw a friendship web. And this is something that they can keep and take home. I'm hoping parents will keep these. Maybe that's a pipe dream, maybe it's not. Stick them on the fridge and collect them. On the back, we've done a parent cue resource piece, which there's one titled For the Ride Home, just a question to ask on the ride home, and then something for the next 7 days, as well as notes for parents to be able to make about just what their kids said or what they're praying about their kids for. That's my dream in all of that. After that application piece, we're all going to go back into the big room. And I'm looking forward to Trent and Corey Funk, who are taking on some kids ministry worship stuff. Some of you have seen that email come through already if you've got kids in K-4. And we're going to do large group worship together. And it's going to be great to be able to worship together to close as a response to what God is doing in our lives. Maybe that's a pipe dream too. Those pieces are all flexible and movable, and so we're going to try it this way for a little while, and then we're going to see where we end up. And hits and misses will still be there, so give us your feedback. Give me your feedback. I love to see what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what's working, what's not working, and obviously in regards to that worship piece, if you like it at the end or the beginning, we're going to mess around with that a little bit, but for now, this is it. So I want to experiment with some of those things, and I'm excited that you guys get to be a part of that. I love seeing you guys engaged in ministry. So our schedule is up for K-4. We're ready to rock and roll. Don't forget about the 24th. Put it on your calendar. And thank you for being a significant part of raising up a generation who will be the church and change the world. And I told the check-in team that they were my favorite, but you guys are actually my favorite. So there you go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you on Sunday.